Greetings from Calgary. Jason, who's one of the users on the GHI Gadgeteer forum, shared an excellent project where he made a Simon game from the printed circuit board and code on up. And it's a very cool project to check out. I'll include a link to it below. Now, I'm nowhere near as talented when it comes to designing and building hardware like that, but I thought I'd build a Simon game using Gadgeteer. This project highlighted why you would want to prototype devices with Gadgeteer before designing and ordering PCBs and parts and such. For example, on my first version, I found out fairly quickly, as I suspect Jason did with his game, that a mute button is not a feature you want to miss, as my dear wife quickly pointed out. So while I was able to easily add a mute button with Gadgeteer, it wouldn't be so easy when you already have PCBs in hand. This project also highlighted another two features of Gadgeteer in that I had 6 button modules, 4 for gameplay, 1 for mute, and 1 for a hint feature. Can't build a game without a cheat feature. 4 LED modules and a tune module, and so including the power module, I had a total of 13 modules. But I'm using a Cerberus mainboard and it only has 8 sockets. So how can we build our Simon game? Well, the first feature, Gadgeteer feature, is daisy chaining, which is a feature that some modules have and allow you to chain the modules together off a single socket. The LED modules in this project feature daisy chaining capabilities. So hooking up all 4 of those will only use one socket on the mainboard. But yet you can treat and code the modules as if they were connected directly to the mainboard. Now, let me show you kind of a little bit closer what this is. So you can see here is a LED module that I'm using. It has a chip that on the front here that manages the chaining, and on the back there are 2 sockets. So the socket here is the mainboard side socket, and then this other socket here is what you would plug other daisy chain modules into. Now you can have, I believe, up to 127 modules daisy chained together, so you can get pretty generous on how many you're putting together. So that is daisy chaining. Now we're down to needing 9 sockets, but again the Cerberus only has 8. So we turn to another Gadgeteer feature that allows us to add sockets. In fact, there are 2 such expansion modules. There's the S Plus module and the Hub AP5 module, which is what I used, and it made building the second version of my Simon game really easily, as I just plugged the 2 new buttons into this hub module, and coding for them was just as if they were connected to the mainboard. So, this hub module is pretty much transparent. Now I'll run my game and show some of the features. So we'll just do a reset here on the Cerberus, which is just like sort of powering on. You'll see that there's a little intro that plays for the game. And so, yeah, a little fancy, some flashing lights, some blinkies. And then all you have to do is press any button to start the game, and it's just like a regular Simon game. So it shows you a light, and then you press the button for that, and then it'll add one to the sequence. And so now let's turn the sound off. So we'll use our mute button, and then we can go like this. And now we'll add this cheat feature. So what the cheat feature is going to do is it tells us, you can see the little red LED that appears on the button that we're to push. Now sometimes when you're doing a game, it's kind of handy to have that because you're not really paying much attention to the gameplay. You're looking at maybe, how the lights are behaving or the timings or making sure other lights don't appear. And I'll show you the last feature is that there's a timeout on the button. So unless you press a button within a certain amount of time, game's over. And we'll start another round here. And we'll show the last kind of feature with this. And so we'll let this time out. And you'll notice that after the flashing, and there's a sound that plays, and then it'll count here how many items that you had correctly in your pattern, so it's your score. Now, Gadgeteer is a very flexible and powerful IoT and device building platform that uses the .NET development skills and tools you already have, and makes a great platform for teaching about building and coding devices, as it's a very intuitive platform that gets people up and building all sorts of devices quickly and easily, and it's a lot of fun to use. So as always, I'll post a link for the source code and everything for this project below. And until next time, keep gadgeteering.